Yes, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show.
Yes, welcome indeed. I am Corey Pratt.
I'm Chris Ruck.
And this is Craving Cars.
That's right. Welcome to the show. Been a little while.
Well, were we on yesterday?
Well, we were, but nobody was online with us.
Oh, okay. No, yes. Here we are. Our November show, as you guys know, as it's getting kind of into the off season, we're just so remember in December and January we'll just have our one show, but we'll time it really good for you, like hopefully right during the holiday.
Yeah.
So like
on Christmas Day.
Yeah. You got to get a little break from the family.
That's right. Forget football. Just
let the kids play in their boxes.
There you go.
And then you can put the toys up.
You need a break after that, for sure. That day tends to be long.
Well, it's good to be back.
It is. And we're in the AutoBeauty Center studio.
Yes, we are.
Thank you for Brett and AutoBeauty Center for giving it to us. So.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
And we did a couple things since the last time we were on. One was a brand new thing that we were both very excited to go do. So we've got that to talk about real quick.
We do.
But first things first.
Yeah, there you go.
The things that help make the show possible.
Our sponsors.
Sponsors. Do we have them?
Yeah, they're there.
What do you got?
I do. We have Flying H Drag Strip.
Hey, Flying H Drag Strip.
That's right.
One
of the newer ones that we got, only probably the last couple months that we've had them involved. So not a lot that we can do. 2025, we're hoping to do a lot with them. So that's great. There.
But we do got some footage out there.
We do. A couple videos. Yep.
A Streetcar Takeover's been out there a couple times now. Yep. They are a killer drag strip. They really are.
What is it? Kings of Kansas City you did?
That was the last one we videoed.
Yeah.
And we just haven't been out there.
Yeah.
Since then.
Yeah.
For a full video, anyways.
Yeah. Exactly.
But yeah, no, that was a great event. It was their first Kings of Kansas City, I guess technically, in that.
Yep.
At that park. We Are Warriors Apparel.
Jason.
And we're looking forward to seeing him in a few months.
And his family.
Yeah,
they've been killing it. I mean, they've been going everywhere, doing all kinds of stuff. Great product line they've come out with.
Oh, yeah. I'm actually pretty excited to see what new he's got now, because
I can't wait for him to join us so we get some more.
He's got something new every time.
Yeah, we need more stuff.
Yeah, need more stuff. I see your point here.
Okay. Yeah. There's a reason behind the pump. No.
I think we got some. Well, we'll talk about it once we get closer to it. But we might have some World of Wheels.
Oh, yeah. Yep. We got good news coming about that.
With them, but we got some more planning to do with that. Uncorked Wine and Spirits.
Dave Doan.
For the best of
Dave Donut partners,
shopping.
We should say.
Yeah. So, hey, if you really want to go to a place that you can call your own.
Yeah.
It's like a home away from home.
You know what I thought about last time we did this and we talked about this? It was, you know what it is? It's a great thing for a couple to do. Go visit them, have them educate you on wine and liqueurs.
Yep.
And it would just be a good time.
Don't forget to tell them the color of your underwear.
Yeah, because that makes a difference.
It really helps pair the wine together.
It does. Yeah.
It really does.
Yeah.
We got Ridgeline Motorsport.
Yeah. And they just opened up the St. Louis location. That thing's great. Hopefully next year we'll be going there to do something.
So now they're in 17 different cities.
Pretty well. The guy keeps buying everything.
Yeah, he's got a lot of stuff.
Yeah, JD and his whole crew is doing a great job. So they're now in major hubs are in Independence, St. Louis, and in O'Fallon, Illinois.
O'Fallon.
Yeah.
Your old stomping grounds.
It is, yeah. I'm excited to go back there and see what they got going because it looks amazing.
I am too. It's been a few years since I've actually been. It's weird. It wasn't because of you, but I've got other people I know in O'Fallon, Illinois,
it's a small
and they
town.
do their car shows. I've been out there a couple times and done some stuff. But it's been a little while since I've been out there. We got timely delivery service in the house.
Yep.
Good old Big T.
Yeah. Great guy.
I'm looking forward to seeing him here soon too.
Yep.
Matter of fact, out of all of our sponsors, he's the one I've seen the most recent. So.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's good. Hopefully he's doing very well. He looked like he was doing good. So
good.
And of course, once again, hey, thanks again to AutoBeauty Center for giving us the studio space. And on with the show, everybody. Well, not that we haven't been on with the show for the last few minutes here, but welcome to the show, everybody. Thank you. Feel free to leave comments as necessary. If you're not watching this live, well, too bad. We turn the comments off after it's not live anymore.
That's right.
No, I'm kidding. Leave comments down below if you, I don't know, for whatever reason you want to leave a comment for them.
Yeah, or questions or whatever. We know we got a special guest coming up later on, so we'll talk about him. But you know what's funny is I think this is the first time we started a show we didn't have comments about something's not right. No video, no audio.
It must be working.
It must be.
It must be working.
I hope so.
Chris,
Either that or everybody left.
I would like to give you props, but I would just feel bad about that.
Well, I know you would. You wouldn't have anything to rib me
We do have
for.
a couple things to cover, and we do have an amazing guest.
Yeah. Yeah.
That'll be live here in
Somebody
studio.
special to us.
You know what?
We'll tell you why when we get
he's
there.
special to more people than us. Maybe not much.
I doubt it.
But, you know,
I doubt it.
a few.
Yeah.
It's possible. Not likely, though.
That is. So
But we'll get there. We'll get there. First things first. I tell you what.
Halloween.
Yeah, we didn't really do much for Halloween this year, did we? I didn't make it to a single. Craving Gardens didn't make it to a single Halloween event this year. I feel sorry for anybody who was out there and said, "Hey, can you make it to our holiday event?" It's just nothing ever worked out with the scheduling.
Yeah. Yeah. There was so much going on every weekend. It was like, which do you go to? What do you do?
And one of those weekends was a day that I picked. Actually, I didn't really pick it. The family picked half of it because it was my birthday. So my daughters want to do something.
You couldn't give up the birthday?
Apparently not, because when the daughters want to do something, I take advantage of that because I'm not always going to be able to be there for them.
Well, that's true.
So
that's true.
If they want to take you to do something, then what do you want to go do? This is what I'm going to go do.
That's
and then
what
my
we
wife
did.
goes, well, don't you have something you want to? I was like, nope.
Yep.
If they're not doing something, then we can figure something else out. But daughters first.
Yep.
That worked out well. Had a good time. And this is exciting news to everybody, I know. But
I'm waiting.
I officially signed up for the Porsche Club of America.
Oh, well, good for finally. I mean, you had your car for like 80 years now.
And then I sold my car the next day. No, I'm kidding.
It's not worth it.
Well, I mean, it was 4 years that I've had it now.
Right.
And it was kind of a thing where I really wanted to do it.
Yeah.
And just put off the side.
I think because you were sitting with the Audi group all the time.
I still did some Porsche stuff, mostly Audi stuff.
Yeah. Right.
And they're still there. Audi Club is still sort of there. But you know what? Hey, do you want to see more Porsche content stuff? Then, well, I'll probably go to a few more things next year.
And that leads into another thing we'll get to, but we'll fall back on that part because where we went at the track, we can talk about what happened there with people admiring what you have and how you have it. So we can talk about that a little bit too. So my Halloween, not much. It was the grandkids. We went down to, as most people are doing nowadays, trunk or treats. Instead of walking around neighborhoods, they're going to trunk or treats, a one hit, whatever, and get it all done. We went down to the Independence Square area with our grandkids, and it was 2.5 hour wait. And they called it a trunk or treat.
Yeah.
No trunks,
Some good
no cars,
trunks?
Just tables with candy spread out.
So table and treat.
Pretty much. It was like walk through, grab candy and leave, and the line was still twice around the block.
Do they not understand what trunk or treat means?
I don't think they do.
There's a purpose for it.
You've seen how big trunk or treats have gotten.
Yeah, that's what made. Usually, at least hang out at one, right?
Yeah.
Or I bring the van or something of that sort to
we
participate.
would normally set up. Sometimes we
dress the
co-host.
vehicle up, all that
yeah.
stuff. And that's what was weird. Like we had something going on each weekend and other stuff, but so we didn't really get around this this year. But there were still a bunch of them.
There were. They're all over the place.
Some little. I had some like going on in the neighborhood just like a block from my house, and some small business put on their own little trunk or treat thing. I was like, oh, cool, look what they're doing. And I was like, awesome. But is that all there are nowadays?
I think so, because you know what? I've seen over the last 5 years the number coming to my house, right? And we're in a big cul-de-sac area, so it's a good neighborhood to hit. It's dropped every year. It's like families don't want to walk around neighborhoods anymore. I remember when I was a kid, the only option you had was you're going to hike for about 2.5 miles to get all the candy you can. Now it's go to a trunk or treat, hit it in 30 minutes, get all the candy, go to the next one, and then come home.
I'm all for the trunk or treats because of the cars, but I'm not in it for the candy at this point.
My opinion, I think you lose that community part of it. I think that's a disconnect. I think you're going somewhere, not in your neighborhood. You're going somewhere to get candy, and then you're going home. You lose that neighborhood connection.
Yeah, I would say there's a few out there still.
There are.
Because you just hear some story, but then some of them the neighborhoods go a little bit like
over.
Yeah, they go beyond.
Yeah,
and to make it more fun still.
Not as amusement
and to keep it going, all this stuff. Yeah. But how about we do this? How about we challenge someone to try to put one of these together? But instead of taking the neighborhood to a trunk or treat, why don't we take the trunk or treat to the neighborhood.
You know what? We've talked about this, and I think it's a great idea.
Why don't we do some cool trunk or treat parade type of stuff through
through a neighborhood, then
Dressed
park
up and
open up the trunks on the car,
do some things, move a little long. You
there
know.
there you go.
I mean, come on. I think that'd be pretty cool. What do you guys think? Do you think that'd be kind of fun to do a trunk or treat
parade
through the neighborhood? I mean,
I think it'd be awesome.
We could get some cool cars together, like Cadillacs.
Yep.
Because they got really big trunks. We can put a lot of candy in them.
Yeah. Well, they do have big trunks. That's true. Or throw a bunch of stuff in the back of the Jeep.
Yeah, yours would fit. Mine
would.
Oh, the van. How about we just slide the door open and just start throwing stuff
There
outside?
You go. I agree. We got the tools. We can make it happen.
I think we should do something like that.
I think it might be an idea for next year. We got a lot of cool ideas.
We got about 11
year.
months to plan it. So I mean,
yeah, we do.
Okay,
yeah.
let's get that. Let's work something out on that. Anybody else want to help with that? You got some suggestions? Hey, let us know.
That's right.
Maybe you've had something like that happen where you're from, because I know not everybody that watches this is just out of the Kansas City area. You could be somewhere else, like I don't know, Ohio, for instance. That could be a place. However, with that said, that'd be cool. That'd be cool to do something like that. Anything else for Halloween? I think
that's all we did, because it was like, okay, well, let's go home, and then it was, well, let's wait for the kids. And every year I tell my wife, do not keep buying buttloads of candy because nobody comes, and now we're sitting on all this candy.
So now I know where to go to get all the
right.
candy right now. Okay.
Literally at the end of it, because by the time we walk the neighborhood with the grandkids and I finally go home to hand out candy, there's maybe 10 people that come up to the house, and I got this huge bucket. I'm fist loading up their things. I'm like, take this crap because I don't want it. So.
Oh well.
Yeah.
Oh well.
But this year I did something
made some
unique.
of them happy,
This year I did something. So our kids, the grandkids, they did their own pumpkin carving.
Yeah.
We set them out on the patio.
Okay.
And we have everybody that comes to the house vote. And then the person that wins gets a special prize.
Did you do one with the audio rings?
I didn't make one. I was too busy handing out candy. I know. I should have done
So in
that.
other words, you lost.
My daughter won because she had a small pumpkin inside of a big pumpkin, like it swallowed it, and you're looking down the throat. She did an amazing job on it. It's pretty cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I like it.
Awesome.
I like it.
Yeah.
Well, I tell you what, before we get to the really big one that we really want to talk about, just the other weekend ago, I don't know if you guys have ever heard of Adventure Motors. They're in Grandview. They do a lot of off-roading, overlanding, build stuff. Mostly they've kind of built up more on the Toyota side of things. I think they do a few other stuff too, but not like very, very small percentage compared to the Toyotas and stuff. But that's okay. I'm not biased. Overlanding to me is overlanding. Whether you got Jeeps, Broncos, Toyotas, whatever. I mean, it's all awesome to me. I just know the mistakes you've made if you didn't buy a Jeep. That's all. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Well,
you have a Jeep. So
you know that we are. You guys know that we're trying to we're getting a little bit more on the overlanding side. So that's kind of like one of the little segment side of Craving Cars.
Yep.
So we kind of went there, and they had kind of a cool little event. Just invited a bunch of rigs out. They called it. It was kind of a weird name. What did they call it? Rigs and coffee.
Well, that sounds.
It really sounds kind of
sounds
similar,
like a spinoff,
like something that maybe we have seen or done before.
Right.
I'm trying to remember,
but doesn't have the same cool name though.
What is it that I'm thinking of? Rigs. It's not Rigs and Coffee, obviously. I mean, it's basically like like a Cars and Coffee, but for off-roading and overlanding type of rigs.
Yeah.
And wow, geez, what was that? You guys know what that could be that we were thinking of? That we went to.
Yeah, I can't think of it.
Rigs and something that wasn't coffee.
You wait for you to spin this.
Wait for someone to say it in the comments.
Rigs and roast, damn it. Let's get to it.
Well,
Rigs and roast is what we do.
Rigs and roast is something that we started a couple years ago, actually.
Yep.
And thank you, Will.
Way to wake up.
A little late there, Bo.
Yeah, thanks.
We tried to really let that go. That's all right. I don't know how many beers he's in.
No, there you go.
No, but they did. They did Rigs Coffee. It was pretty cool. They had some good little stuff. I talked to them a little bit.
And you got to meet some cool people.
Well, we met people that were from our rigs and roast actually that
Right.
were there.
Yeah.
And let's see, the guy who's responsible for the More Expo. We've talked about the More Expo.
Yep.
He actually,
we have a video out there
yeah,
for it.
he actually came up to me and was like, "Hey, how's it going?" And started talking to me. So it sounds like he's already invited us to go back out to April again to the next
cool.
More Expo.
The
down in
More,
Springfield.
yeah.
And so why not? Because it's a pretty cool overland show or expo.
Yeah.
And it's not very far.
Yeah, if you're into off-roading, overlanding, that kind of experience, check out our channel. There's plenty of videos out there that Corey's
Yeah, we'll
put together.
try to put it in its own little playlist.
Now
too
they
for
have
some
the
people.
Jeep back, I'll start making some too.
There you go. Maybe you'll maybe come to some. I don't know.
If it breaks down on the
That-
road,
you know
what do you do?
You probably don't want to come to an expo
I probably don't.
because you're just gonna see all the crap you want to buy.
I know. And then,
then you're
now
gonna
I
be
got
like, I
another
want
thing.
this. I need this rack. Ooh, this tent's cool.
Yeah.
Hey, when are we going to the next thing? Come on, let's go to Adventures. Come on.
Well, the Jeep is drivable, so do I really want to get the Audi fixed? That kind of a thing. So
Ooh.
yeah, it might throw me down the wrong path. Yeah, I got
Let's get the Audi fixed.
Yeah, I got to do that.
We got to do that too.
I got to.
So I mean, it was cool. It was a good event. They plan on, if it did well, they were thinking of maybe trying to do one every quarter for themselves and
Okay.
fill in the gaps. I think I'm seeing a couple of the 4x4 groups trying to do their own little rigs and. Was it rigs and coffee? It just sounds funny.
I know. It doesn't rhyme.
It doesn't really go.
I think it was genius you came up with Riggs and Rose.
Well,
I always say you're a
What can I
genius.
say? I mean, it's
know,
all in the
I
IQ.
know. I know.
No.
You're a genius. That's what I call
I'm a
it.
genuine ass.
There you go.
There you go. But what was our biggest thing that we did? Because I think this is our biggest thing we did, and I wish
Yeah.
we had more time here because we
First time we
could have did the whole weekend event. We just couldn't.
yeah.
We had other things going on, but we went on Sunday, and we went to a first time that we wanted to go for since it's been open.
Yep. We knew about it as it was being built,
Yes,
and
we
we
did.
wanted to go.
But we finally made it to the Ozark International Raceway.
That's right.
And if you guys don't know where that's at, it's in the Ozarks.
Yeah.
In Missouri.
Amazing track.
I guess if you're not from Missouri, some people think Ozarks are in Arkansas, but they kind of go. It's on the northern side of the Ozarks in Missouri. How about
Yeah,
that?
yeah.
We'll call it that.
It's cool.
It is an amazing track. It is a 4-mile track. Actually, they have many different forms that they can do. They've got like 4
Yeah.
different
They can isolate
track layouts that they can
zones.
do.
Yeah.
But their main track, the full track, is 4 miles, which is the longest of road courses. There are so many elevation changes in this thing. It is just.
It was nuts.
I heard people tell me about it until we went there and saw it. We're like, oh my God. I don't know how many different or how many hundreds of feet of drop some of these turns are, but.
And they're steep.
Yeah.
I mean, they're very steep.
Yeah. They got some. It's
And
good.
then a bank.
It is a really cool show. Actually, the track was so big, it was kind of hard. We went there to get some footage, to get some stuff, and it was just kind of hard to get what we needed. We got some pictures. We got we got invited out there.
But we went there for the NASA
Yep. It was their last race.
championships,
Yes.
right? Yeah.
Yes, and this was their last race, and then they were doing the championship awards, which a friend of ours, Stephen Bright,
Stephen Bright.
he won not only just championship in his class.
Yeah.
I think
there's multiple classes.
There are quite a few classes, but his class, I think, had 18 different racers.
Okay.
Or teams, or however you want to call it.
Yeah.
So he won.
Formula
he
only has
he got championship with
22,
that one, so that's awesome. If you guys don't know what he's got a 350Z, but
shell.
yeah, body and chassis.
Yeah, that's about it.
Kind of tuned up very well with his shop that has done a great job by putting a. Did he have a 6 liter or 6.2?
He had a 6.
Was it just a 6 or 6.2?
I think he had a 6.0. I think that's what he said.
Whatever it was one of those LS.
Yeah. Because he wants to qualify at a certain level, right?
Yeah,
to stay in his.
it is a detuned engine because he has to stay under a certain horsepower.
I think he said he's running like 40% of what it could do.
Yeah,
but
because you
got to stay in class.
He ran every race, all race season, and didn't have one engine problem.
Yeah, it's crazy.
That's saying a lot for any race team.
Yeah.
I don't care what car it is or how much you're pushing it.
No.
I mean, this is like not as much as even a spark plug going. I don't know.
Yeah.
It was all great. But he won not only that, he won Driver of the Year.
Yeah.
Now,
for all of NASA.
And that's in the region, the Midwest region, NASA Midwest, and that's all classes, not just his class. And it's voted on. It's kind of nominated throughout a lot of the NASA workers, employees, and all that stuff, or whatever,
and drivers,
volunteers. But the drivers vote on it.
Yeah.
So the drivers all kind of vote, and it was pretty unanimous.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
The way it went. So
that's very.
That was really nice that he was really getting some good respect, well-deserved respect.
Yep.
And doing a good job. And we got to see him kind of go on the track a little bit.
Yep.
They did kind of more of like a for fun race because it was already over.
Yeah,
so
we kind of mixed.
They just kind of went out.
We kind of mixed the race course with Riggs and Rose. We took the golf cart out.
Oh yeah. They have an off-road course there that we kind of made with the golf cart.
Yeah.
I think they should make that a thing.
We were going down Rocky Hill.
Off-road golf cart racing.
I think that'd be cool.
It might be a pretty good segment.
It would be, yeah. So it was our first time there, so we had to chase the cars.
We wish Wheels was there because we could have used his golf cart.
His golf cart would have been better.
Yeah,
for sure.
So imagine this, guys. We weren't in like a big wheel.
No, typical golf course.
Plain old gas powered, little wheel tire, no suspension.
Yeah, it was
cheapy golf course rental golf cart that we. Well, to get to the spots we needed to get, we had to drive through the terrain.
Yeah, because they're race cars going on the course, and basically the track we had to run on, the trail is what I'll call it.
Yeah.
Went on the same turns as the course. So we're going on the same inclines and everything, but it's all rock and gravel.
I'm just thinking, you better have that steering wheel hold on, man. Tip over, I swear, we're done for.
We power slid quite a bit, so that was funny.
It was a good time, though.
Yeah.
But I will say, if you guys have ever thought about going to the track out there, even just to watch some races, I'm not talking about just the race, because we didn't get a chance to actually do racing ourselves.
No.
But that looked really intimidating if you were doing racing, though. I'm going to be honest. I mean, I'd have loved to take the Porsche out there.
It was pretty intense.
But I guarantee you, I don't think I would have been driving at 1010.
No. You can. I don't even think the drivers are driving their cars 1010.
I don't know, but I was told that was one of the more challenging ones, and it looks like we did get invited by NASA to possibly come back.
Yep.
They are doing their what do they call that? They're like. It's like their big race of the year where...
Oh, they bring all the regions in.
Where all the regions do.
Yeah.
I forgot what they call it, though. Like an all-star race.
All regions championship.
Some championship type of...
We'll call it that.
Whatever it is. It's actually taking place, I think this year was in Utah. This year, or this next year, 2025, is taking place at the Ozark.
You can find all the information. Just Google NASA racing. And it is NASA like NASA. NASA. So you'll find out all the information.
Is it two S's? NASA?
No, I think it's just
it's
NASA.
NASA. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Not the mistaken for the rocket ship, guys.
Exactly. Yeah.
But, it works out.
Yeah.
But we've got a little bit of footage, kind of coming, a little interview, little things like that on that one.
Yep. And there's a video out there.
Yep.
Well, it might not be up yet, but it should be up pretty soon.
Okay.
Of the interview and all of that.
I
I put photos up, but
yes,
but that's on the Facebook.
You can catch the photos
page.
now.
Yeah.
Craving Cars on Facebook, is that right?
Yep.
Okay, and Chris will get me some of those photos, and I'll put them up on our Instagram too.
Yep.
Isn't that right, Chris?
Yeah, I sent them, so you should have them.
Sure he did. I bet he did.
Well, they're on the Facebook page. You can just grab them. But.
Well, I tell you what, I think we should move along to our special guest of the evening.
I do too.
How do I want to introduce this guy?
You know,
do we want to introduce this guy?
I don't know. I was kind of questioning as he showed up 2
minutes
late.
He's a first of. I don't mean first of an individual or first of a special guest, but he's a first of a Craving Cars Choice Award.
Yeah. Very. Yeah.
He is a first choice.
It was our
win ever.
Our special that we threw out at WayneStock 2024.
Yeah.
Which was cool. So.
And they said, "Do you guys want to honor anybody at this show?" And we said,
"Yeah."
As a matter of fact, we were just talking about an individual.
Yeah.
And their car, and we thought, man, if we could vote for one.
Yeah.
And we
super cool guy. I mean, we met him there.
Yep.
Right. We learned about him through a good friend as well, and we'll talk about that. But Mike B.G. Burcham.
That's right.
Welcome to the show, my friend.
Glad to be here, guys.
Were you getting nervous sitting there waiting for us to call on you?
No,
you seem to be pretty cool.
Just soaking it all in.
There you go. There you go. That's awesome. Yeah. Well, welcome to the show. I know we've been talking about this for a few weeks. You obviously travel a lot. You do. You're in town off and on, but so we're glad to have you. And glad that Brandon introduced us to you.
Definitely.
Thank God you came out because your car was really a showstopper.
Thank you.
At the event. And if you don't know, we're talking about the Blue Caddy, which is a 1957, which is just a gorgeous car.
Look at that car.
Yeah, it's just on air. right?
sir.
Yeah. Why don't you talk about it a little bit, and then while you're talking, I might scroll through a couple pictures because I know there's a special one I want to talk to you about.
Sure.
So.
Yeah, it's a 57 Coupe de Ville, mainly all original drivetrain. The only thing that's been done to it since it was bought was we put it on air, changed the suspension. It's got the original 365 V8 hydrostatic transmission.
Yeah.
Just crested 82,000 original miles on this thing.
Nice.
And so I mean, it wasn't a barn find by any means,
Right.
but it was very,
How
very
good
well
was it
taken
when
care
you
of.
found it?
Oh, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
I should have sent you a picture from when
A
it
pre?
was bought. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it had the 57 hubcaps with the white walls, iconic.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
that's,
yeah.
Richie West, he was the one that really put this thing together as far as the wheel, just the stance, the wheel tire combo. Nick with Cash's Candy Classics out there in Monroe, North Carolina. He does all the kits for all these old Caddies and Lincolns and Impalas.
Nice.
Ships them worldwide. Shameless plug for Nick out there.
No, yeah,
But,
yeah, plug away.
But yeah, so they did all the work to it, and then it was just kind of put together. It was really Richard's kind of brainchild.
So really everything. So what's not stock on the car? Besides, is it just suspension?
Suspension, wheels, tires.
It's a good choice on the for going that big of wheels.
And I did have a question on the wheels
really
and tires.
It's really awesome on how they kind of captured still an older school kind of look to it.
Yeah.
As if
Those
there's
are
like
based
hubcaps.
off of they're a two-piece billet wheel that's based off of the 57 hubcap. So
Oh,
if you see
nice.
the
Well, there you
ridges
go.
in
Yeah,
it and
yeah.
everything,
That's
so
what I
it's
was gonna
just
ask
in
you.
a 20 instead of a 15, I believe. And that's done by Colorado Customs.
Okay.
They do a great job with it. They have several different type of wheel patterns that they do.
All right, plug number 2.
That's two.
Wow. Hopefully all your friends are on the
Great,
show.
I
and
got to
just
take
plug
another
it
drink
away.
now.
Just plug it away. Yeah, but you know what? It was great. The car is amazing. I mean, it for me and Corey that day. And don't get me wrong, WayneStock had a ton of gorgeous
There was some
cars.
Oh,
great
my
stuff
goodness.
out there.
Even some cars that were even with us and some trucks and things like that. They were just amazing, but it really did stand out. I mean, it really was. And you brought your daughter out. I know that's a big deal. And so why don't you talk a little bit about how did you get her into it and what's going on with the car?
Honestly, I get her every other weekend, and I've got a 55 window Chevy pickup that's chopped and slammed, and that's kind of how. And that I got that through Brandon, Patrick, and his dad Rick, and that's kind of how we got started. I got started really in the car stuff with Brandon and Rick, and yeah, there it is right there.
Man, look at that truck.
Just got some new
That's
shoes.
the sexiest body of a truck I've ever seen, to be honest.
That thing,
Look at
and
those curves.
that was that's how we got started.
Okay.
So I bought that truck a couple years ago from Rick, and Farrah and I just started going to car shows with Brandon. Brandon brings his little boy Phoenix.
Yep.
And we
We know him.
Yeah, we'd
Yep.
go, we'd hang out,
Yep.
and she's just kind of I call her my little car show queen now.
Yep.
So
That's
it's
super
just
cool.
fun. We have a
Nice.
great time together. She loves it.
She did, honestly. I mean, it was an all day and almost into the evening thing.
That was a long one.
It was, and she was just all involved with everything. So, yeah, it was awesome to see.
Lots of candy and
Yeah.
stuff like that kept her going.
That's right. That's right. So, like I said, we met at WayneStock. Brandon, and we'll talk about him here in a minute. We don't want to give him too much airtime because we have him probably coming on the show later on. But we met there. It was a great time. Was that your first time at WayneStock?
Yes, it was.
What'd you think about it?
It was incredible. We
Yeah.
had such a great time. I mean, the weather was great. I mean,
Yeah.
for the time of year it was actually a little hot, but there's plenty of shade, and there was just such a big turnout. But you saw everything there.
Yeah.
Old square bodies, lifted trucks, just everything you can imagine under the sun. So it was just Wayne's a stand-up guy, and to
Yeah.
have it out there,
Yeah.
and it was just a cool atmosphere. I mean, I had my 9-year-old there the entire time. We left before.
Yeah, before the sun goes
evening.
down.
Yep,
Yeah.
But I mean,
Yeah.
it was just a great time. They had plenty of stuff for the kids. They put it on for a private event held at an individual's home. It was put on just fantastically.
Yeah.
So
probably close to 300 plus cars. We're still building the video for this year, but you can check out last year's. It's just expanded since then.
Right.
So,
it's great. It's going to be a staple for me from now on. Yeah.
It is one because I took Corey last year for the first time, and we agree that it is one show we will not miss every year.
Yeah.
I mean, there's even when it comes to like World of Wheels, it's kind of that. In our brain, it's kind of that atmosphere. So
it kind of goes back to the whole thing of, really, you went to that thing years before me, and you just now done told me about it.
Well, we just connected. We're just now friends.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, well, that's true.
No,
that's true.
It is. It's one of those things where I remember at the beginning of the year, like, okay, what shows do we want to make sure we're hitting?
Yeah.
And that was the first one that popped up. Well, we got to make sure we're going to WayneStock. And we're like, that's like the furthest one away.
Yeah.
And we made sure that was on the calendar.
I've been going for 5 years now, and every year I make sure I don't have anything going on that weekend. There is just no way. I'm not going to miss it unless somebody passes away. But even then, I might say I'm busy.
Still got to push the funeral out.
Yeah. Priorities.
We'll call Buford.
Have it at the.
We'll call Buford.
Have him run through with an old school Cadillac hearse.
I'll tell you one thing. I mean,
that's right.
They're not waiting for you.
No, that's true. That's true. Yeah, they won't know.
Right.
They won't know. But
It'll be
not
fun.
only you are a car guy, but you're also a bike guy, right? So you sent me a couple pictures, and this is a car, obviously, and a truck and bike. But talk about the Nova real quick.
That was my '68 Nova that I had.
Yeah, we were thinking 67, right? I think we were talking about that car.
I without being able to see the front rear end, I was thinking 70, but that was
okay.
Yeah,
All
it's a '68. I had that for a little over a year. I just sold it. I had to sell it so I could make room for the caddy in the garage. I didn't want to sell the truck.
Takes up a lot of room.
well, when you got a 27-foot car.
That's right.
Right. So I sold that, but it was a good car. It was one of those cars for me that from the time I bought it, it just seems like there was something going on with it all the time. So it sat parked most of the time I had it.
Oh, that's
How stock was it?
That's a
it had a 327 in it, TCI transmission. So the motor originally that would have come with a 350 small
Okay,
block.
yeah.
But it had a 327. I didn't realize that until after I'd sold it. The guy sold
somebody
it to,
swapped it.
Well, no, the guy sold. Yeah, somebody had swapped it at some point, but it's still a similar block. So
You wouldn't know by just
if
looking
you just
at it.
look at it,
Yeah.
it looked like a 350 small block. So sold it to this guy out in South Carolina. So I bought the Cadillac in North Carolina, hauled it on a truck, or hauled it with my Super Duty all the way back here, and then I'd sold the Nova to a guy in South Carolina. So I literally hauled it back across the country, got paid, and dropped the trailer off, and it was good to go. But that was
But nice if that was like one cool little trip, like drop the one off to sell, to pick the other one up and come back home.
right. It's basically, but see, I'm out there in South Carolina working anyway, so I just drove home.
Oh, okay, that's
Stayed
right.
here for a week.
Oh,
and then
okay.
drove the Nova back and
Okay.
sold it, and it was all good to go.
Oh,
So,
well, that kind of works then.
yeah, it worked out.
Well, that's
pretty
awesome.
I've got there's like a small little soft spot in me for Novas.
I love
And
the Nova.
my mom had one,
Yeah.
and I believe it was a 70. But I remember
The V6 version?
It was definitely not that. And I was pretty young. I think she got it. I was only like in second grade when she got that car. And she had some other ones. She's had some earlier 60. Like she had a Nova station wagon.
Oh wow, yeah.
Like a what the heck was that? 66 or I don't know what it was. But it was before they went to that body style. Or like that front end, that look. It was when they were a little more squared off.
Sure.
Whatever year that was. But I don't remember that one so much. I was way too young at that point. But then she got this other one, and it was I call it yuck green. I don't know what it was, but it was not a very good green color.
Sure.
It was like back then they either were good with them or they weren't.
Yeah.
Unless they stayed neutral, like black. Okay, hey, can't go wrong black. Red.
Can't go wrong
Okay, good there.
Can't go wrong with
But then they
those.
do some like, hey, let's do some Tupperware colors. No,
Right. Let's
not
go
a
with
good
the avocado green and
Yeah,
a little
avocado
metallic
green.
in it.
That's right.
Yeah, it's not
That's
good.
right.
And I remember though she was dating a guy that he built racing engines for a living. Well, apparently he pulled her car in one weekend and decided to do some work with the Nova. Apparently it was quite a bit because it was.
It's probably a V6.
I just remember sounding a hell of a lot better.
Oh, really?
After he got done with it, and I just remember sitting in that car, back when who cared about seatbelts kind of thing. It doesn't really matter, a lap belt to just chop you in half anyways,
Yep.
probably. And she backed out, and the girl was like, "Wow, this Mom, this sounds really cool. I was like in 3rd grade. And she goes, you think that's cool? And she fucking floored it.
Oh, shit.
And she'd go, whoa, down the front, for her house, down the neighborhood. And I was just like, my eyes lit up, and I was excited as hell. And then from that point on, apparently I was like, I guess I like cars.
Didn't they have a 302 in the Malibus? Was it a 302 or?
Novas? No, they had 350s. We're not talking about Malibus, though. I know you like Malibu. You have a soft spot
Yeah, I
for
know.
Malibus.
I was trying to tie in a story, but
yeah, not working, buddy.
So it was a V8.
Oh,
that,
yeah.
That she had.
Well, yeah, it was V8 from the
Okay.
get-go. It's just
Okay.
he I don't know if he swapped that engine out for one of his race-built engines or he just did some work on the engine that was in it. I just know it was pretty nice. And unfortunately, the demise of that car we were out of town on a trip, and we got back, and someone broke into the Nova and ripped half of the engine out. So it goes to tell you there probably was some good parts on that engine. They didn't steal the car. They stole half of the engine instead.
Wow, they must have known something about what was in there.
Something.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I was just like, at that point, it was just one of those. She got rid of
Some
it.
great Ellerbrock.
She didn't have money to really put into it.
Yeah. But you are a bike guy as well, right?
Yep.
So
Bike guy.
you saw on the other picture
You got to
there
tell
was
me
a
all
white
about
bike.
this.
So
if there's something I don't know the least about is motorcycles. So you got to help me out here. What are we looking at? What is this?
That's me and my buddy Hadley. That's a 2013 Harley Davidson Road Glide. It's stretched. It's got a 30-inch front wheel. It's all on air ride, dirty air, fast up.
How high does that go up, or is that it right there?
No, that's pretty. I think that's just kind of what cruising height is. It'll drop down another inch or two in the back.
you can put the tail almost on the ground, right?
It gets close, about an inch and a half up off the ground or so, and then there's not much travel in those front forks.
Yeah, because you're too extended out,
Yeah,
right? You
maybe
can't really lower them.
3 or 4 inches at best.
Okay.
So yeah.
It looks like I see some speakers in there. So you got a sound system.
It's got a decent sound system. One of my previous bikes that I built a street glide a couple years ago.
Yeah.
That had a 23-inch, the big fat tire that people are kind of going to.
Oh
now.
yeah.
I had a 23-inch fat tire. There wasn't many people in Kansas City that had one of those. I had it painted to match my Super Duty. It was a little bit extra. So it started out as just a black.
That was the white one, right?
Right, yeah. That started out as a black street glide special and turned into a pearl white, kind of a monster. It wasn't that one.
Was it this one?
That was actually, that's the red one.
Just
it's red now. I had it repainted last year.
Painted, not wrapped.
Nope, not wrapped. Travis painted it up in.
Are you going to leave it just solid red, or are you doing anything else to it?
No, I'm going to leave it the red. It's called Pull Me Over Red. It's it's pretty striking. He did such a great job on it. I mean, it sits there and it looks like the paint's like dripping off of it.
How often do you take it out? Or actually, how long have you had it?
I've had that bike for 2.5 years or so, and then usually I'll get it out here and there. I mean, Brandon's taken it out to a couple shows for me.
You know what? I think I've seen it when it was white.
Yeah,
because we do a lot of shows, and I think I've seen it when it was white. Because I'm like, damn, I like the white. Honestly,
well, I love the white too.
Was
but
that
there
the one
so
you
many
almost
white
kicked?
Yeah.
There's so
I might have been confusing yours with somebody else's because there's so many of them.
There's
You're
so
right.
many white bikes out there, and so actually that was Brandon's idea. I was kicking back and forth between some kind of a blue or a red, and Brandon's like, "Hey, listen, there's a color I've been kind of saving," and I was like, "What do you think?" And he goes, "It's Pull Me Over Red," and I started looking at it, and I was like,
Yeah, that's
You had a customer that backed down a deal and he had all his red paint.
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, or he whipped up something and spun it wrong.
Right. It was a factory second.
Hey, let me give you what I got. It's awesome.
It was a factory second.
How long has it been red now? When'd you paint it?
It was painted. I picked it up just before Father's Day last year, so a little over a year now.
Okay.
No, awesome.
How often do you get to take it out?
Not as near as much as I'd like.
How many times have you been pulled over in it?
Never once.
So it's not really a properly named color.
Hold on.
Right.
Hold on, guys.
Yeah, right.
The color needs to be not so pull you over red.
Yeah.
Okay.
Acting conspicuous red.
Acting conspicuous red.
Yeah,
there you
it
go.
doesn't
I like
stand
that
out
one.
at all.
I like that one.
Let me tell you that. So besides what we see in the daylight picture, do you have any lighting on it? Do you have a underglow? Nothing. Just
no. I mean, it just depends on the bike. I've never been a big underglow person. When it comes
and I find that we find that with car guys too.
Yeah. So I don't have anything like that. Just mainly the stereo system. I mean, I've upgraded the headlights and stuff like that. All LEDs and everything.
Yeah.
But,
Very cool.
It's sexy for sure.
you.
Yeah.
Very cool. I like it. Is that the only bike you have right now?
Yeah, I had a 2015. I just sold it. I I had it out in South Carolina with me. It was a Road King that was kind of choloed out. I don't know if I sent you a picture. It was blue. Had the
You
long
did. Yeah, you
chrome
did.
pipes on it and stuff. I just sold it last weekend. I drove from South Carolina up to Knoxville. And met a guy
okay.
there and sold
So
it,
what do you mean by choloed out?
Kind of it was a kind of a flaked paint with a lot of silver leaf.
Okay.
And it had kind of a
so
gangster
paint.
Yeah,
Choloed
the paint.
out.
Well,
Okay.
and then it had these carriage guns, these chrome carriage guns on the bags. The bags were extended, and then we had these super long Samson pipes on it that were all chromed out. So it's kind of they say choloed out. It's kind of a Mexican-inspired, Hispanic-themed style. I didn't
Bunch
have
of tassels on the windshield.
No, there was when I bought the thing. I drove down to Orlando.
What's the horn
and picked
sound
it
like?
up.
Ba, 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 ba.
Exactly. Yes.
Bunch of tassels on the windshield.
But when I picked it up, it was down in Orlando, so I drove down with a trailer, picked it up, and it had these long ass leather tassels hanging off of the sides. I swear, from the grips, they were leather grips with these long tassels. I mean, they were 3 feet long.
Dang.
So I mean, they were a weapon.
Was there a
sometimes.
sombrero?
Yeah, right. You hit the wrong wind, it goes into the chain, and there you go.
Was there? Is it like the forks designed to hold the sombrero?
No, but it does have a big ass set of apes on it, and then there was a deal that for a bedroll. You could do the bedroll on the front of it and everything.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Alrighty.
So I didn't have that on there, but there was a bedroll that was rolled up in the bags.
Oh, okay.
Yep,
That's
so
cool.
But I mean, hell, I had that bike for a year, and I think I put 400 miles on it. I thought I was going to ride it out in the mountains a lot more than I had. So it just
Everybody thinks you're going to drive and ride more than you do.
yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah, time.
I do have a side question to kind of go outside of the car thing here, but I do know because you said it that BG is kind of a different name, a nickname kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, we thought more people were showing up, to be
Yeah,
honest.
yeah. But BG. So
Ease.
where does that come from? Because
Actually,
it doesn't exactly quite sound like Mike.
Yeah, BG. It stands for big guy. My mom actually started calling me that when she found out that she was going to have a boy. So she would call me big guy.
Before
or
you even
BG.
came out.
Yeah,
She-
before I
this is
was
a big
even
guy.
before I was even born. That's what she started calling me. And then I came out, and I think I was 7 pounds, but I was 23 inches long. They said they thought I was dead because I didn't move the last month of my mother's pregnancy. But it was whenever I was born, they realized it was because I was so folded up in there.
Oh,
And I came
you
out,
didn't
I
have
was
room.
almost 2 feet tall when I came out. I was a damn toddler. So,
Oh, my God, that's
so
funny.
she's called me that for, over 44 years now. So
Wow.
just aged myself.
That's a good. That's a good.
Sorry,
That's a
guys.
good reason.
So
It's a
do you have
good
any
question.
brothers?
I have 2 sisters and no brothers.
So
Well, I have brothers, but they're not by blood.
So if you had more siblings that were boys, if you had other brothers, then it's very possible that you would end up becoming a band because you'd be called the Bee Gees.
I mean, I did hit one of
We
those,
loved
hit one of
your-
those
we-
fucking things when he does that. That's what. Not bad. Not bad. I'm here all week.
We loved the soundtrack of Saturday Night Fever, by the way. It was huge.
The Bee Gees, that's right. If my mom was listening, she might be listening to this. She's laughing her ass
All
off.
I know is-
Probably is. She probably.
All
That's
I know
probably
is-
what she meant.
All I know is during our podcast, we're staying alive.
Oh, it's funny.
Cut
Me and-
his
Me
microphone.
and Corey sat back here before you showed up. We're like, okay, wait a minute. We got to figure a way of tying this together.
That's awesome. That was well done.
Nailed it. There you go. There you go. That's awesome.
No.
So what's your plans? Either growing your car collection, selling things off. What would you like to have?
My dream car, I guess you could say, and I've got my eyes on one. I've been talking to a gentleman about. It's a 50 Merc. So
Already done?
lead sled. Yeah, it was done a long time ago. It's
Sylvester Stallone's?
all metal. No, I wish. All metal work. Everything was done right a long time ago. So, 50 Merc has been ever since I saw them as a kid. Saw the movie Cobra. I can remember
Yep.
being a kid, like walking around with a matchstick
Oh,
hanging
yeah.
out of my mouth
Yep.
and shit. So, definitely a 50 Merc.
Yeah.
That's the ultimate goal for me at some point. And I want it to be I want it to be a vacuum cleaner on the road, just sucking, just right there on it. So
Yeah, they're so
Nice.
so cool. When they're done right, they are
You're
just
gonna put nitrous on it?
I mean, Why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Did,
Why wouldn't
didn't Sly do that?
What?
Nothing.
Oh yeah, that's what the Go Baby Go was. Yeah.
I don't know where he's going, but okay.
It had nitrous on it, didn't it? Okay, never mind.
No, he did.
Oh, did Cobra did?
Oh, Cobra
yeah,
did.
Cobra
Absolutely,
did. Yeah,
'cause
yeah.
He flipped that switch.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh, well, I didn't know
And
where
then he
you're
comes
going.
out of
Okay.
that parking garage and
Yeah. Yeah.
pandemonium. The car stays together. That's
Yeah.
pure steel.
Wonder
right
how
there, boys.
many people just, or do you think that? Well, that was what an '80s film.
Oh yeah,
So they were already modifying before that. That's
probably late '80s.
yeah. Would you get rid of the Cadillac?
Absolutely not.
No.
I've been offered a lot more money than
Yeah.
I got into that thing.
I could
and
imagine.
I just don't even give people a price. I mean, I just tell them, bring me a suitcase full of cash.
Yeah.
Let me count it, and I'll tell you if it's enough.
Yeah.
You know, it's one of those things. Like I've got such a
You can't find them.
deep. Well, you can't find them, and then it's just already since I've put almost 2,500 miles on that car.
Yeah, because you drove. I mean, it's not like a strictly show car.
yeah, that-
you
I
drove it to the show, across the grass, across the gravel.
Yeah.
I was like, he's gonna bottom out.
Hey, listen, I drive my shit, you know,
Yeah.
and that's why I've got it. I get more
That's what
enjoyment.
they're for, though.
I get more enjoyment driving that Cadillac than anything I've ever owned.
Yeah. Oh, I can
just. You just sit back there, and that just the way that the springs are in the seats. I mean, you just float. You hit a bump.
So
I'll take
the
you guys for a
interior
ride
wise
sometime.
is the interior wise is
Looking
it,
forward to it.
That's all factory
Oh, well, the interior was redone, from what I can tell.
reupholstered.
Yeah, reupholstered
Okay.
back in maybe 2016 or so, because I saw where it sold in an auction. I ran the VIN numbers and
Yeah.
stuff. And the interior had been recently redone then, and whoever done it did a great job.
Still
Baseball
classic
stitching.
styling.
Oh,
and
they
everything.
kept everything
okay.
very, very original.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. They didn't plush it out with 6-8-inch subwoofers in the doors.
No, I've got
Okay.
Brandon. Actually, he put 2 6x9s in that thing, and I've got an amp in the glove box.
Yeah.
and it just Bluetooths to my phone. It doesn't sound that great, but hey, it's a little bit
It's
of music.
enough.
It's better than the little rechargeable speaker that I was
Yeah.
keeping in the seat next to me.
little JBL power Bluetooth speaker.
Exactly.
Probably than a single speaker in the dash
You know
with the
what?
AM
That's
radio.
not what the car is about, right? It's not a
Exactly.
sound. It's not a sound car, and it is gorgeous. I mean, yeah, I would never
Well,
get rid of it.
I wonder how many people they'll look at it just because he's put different wheels, he's bagged it, some suspension.
I
stuff.
would go to
And they
Quick
me-
Trip
they-
and
they-
just park it and
They
just stand
immediately
outside.
they immediately look at it and go, "Oh, that's all been resto modded." It's like, no,
No.
the drivetrain, all that stuff. It's
Yeah.
the original stuff. That's
Yeah.
what makes it to me even that much more awesome. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just gonna say this. I'm not doing anything yet, but there's big things coming with that car. Just at some point, whenever that thing, if it does take a shit on me, we're gonna
Yeah,
go.
because I mean, it's
We're gonna get nasty. We're gonna put a 6.2 LT4.
Okay.
I want to do the CTS-V motor.
Right.
So it's, whenever you flip that hood open, you're gonna see all Cadillac.
Yeah, yeah.
and supercharged, and
Yeah.
we're gonna get stupid. With
That'd
it.
be
I want to do like that. I mean, it won't be as crazy, but
the one off of. I think I'm thinking on the same page as you are. Is it the one Kindig did?
that 12 air,
Yeah.
that thing's bad. But then there's, I'm sure you guys have seen that Continental. That kid, I think it's Masters 824 on Instagram. He's got that Continental with over 1,000 horse. He had it at SEMA last year. I mean, obviously this car's not going to be on that level.
Oh, that's not Cody's, is it? No, Cody has the black
He's
one.
out of Denver.
Oh, okay, not a local.
This thing
guy.
is
okay.
I mean, he's got $500,000 in this car. It is
What year Lincoln? Roundabout?
66-ish.
Suicide
So
doors.
it's a
Is, I was
slab.
about to say,
Yeah.
does it have the suicide doors on it?
Yeah.
Okay.
And but that
Kind of
car's-
like Cody's.
My favorite Lincoln.
that car's just
Yeah.
blowing up the internet, and I mean, I want to do something similar like that with the Cadillac, but make
Yeah.
it very, very classy. And you don't see it. I'm not going to do I mean, his is on a complete custom chassis.
Oh
and
yeah,
everything.
yeah. Frame off. I mean,
Yeah, I'm
frame
not-
up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
But it's killer though. You should hear it.
Yeah.
Just absolutely
Cody's
insane.
done a lot of work to hit. He bought it with a lot of work done, but he's modified a lot of stuff on it. And it's a
Okay.
gorgeous one too. It's black with white walls and everything, but it's slammed. He's done a lot of work to it. So, and he's local. But he's got a great car. So he also, I think he still has it, the blue Lambo as well, with the yellow trim around the bottom side of it. So
I love those old Lincolns too.
yeah, it's gorgeous. I mean, it really is a gorgeous.
The suicide door one. I mean, just there's been a few that I have seen
Huge.
that are just done up so good looking, and
Yeah.
and there's something about the door. I mean, the roof comes down, he got the windows, and then the door at some point, I don't know when it starts on the inside, but it doesn't end for many inches on the outside. And I swear to God, like it's like this. It's like it's a 10-foot wide or 10-inch like wide door. And I look at it, it's like, but why? Like newer ones that have additional pillars, or they may have some weird airbag stuff, or they have some other things, all kinds of more electronics in it or something like that. You know, they're not that wide. Why are these doors so damn wide? But I don't know. It's like they're like a shelf going down the car, and then when the two meet up, and then they just look fantastic. And then the fact that they're back ends or suicides, it just is cool.
Yeah,
it's not his Cadillac, but it's still really cool.
Yeah.
The engineering back then. I mean, obviously the new stuff, it's different, but it's just that old steel.
Different.
You just can't.
Yeah.
I think
we talk about it all the time.
At least on the American market, I'm not going to speak for anybody outside the country because I don't know. But I think back then they were more passionate about building cars as far as style and look. I mean, look at the interiors of some of them and just like the gauges and how they would purposely make some weird little like milled fittings and all this stuff. Well, now they just slap a plastic thing on there. It's like, oh, well, let's customize this. Okay, we'll put a red plastic
and let's put it in the
next
next one, and put it in the next one, and put it in the next one.
And then we'll do a two-tone. Okay, we'll do a red and a black plastic thing. Right. And there's not really as special. I feel like, don't get me wrong, there's still some cool cars nowadays, or we wouldn't be doing this channel.
Right, absolutely.
But I mean, look at it.
The craftsmanship isn't there.
If anybody outside of this country wants to talk shit on American cars, sure, they have room to talk from probably the 80s on up on certain things. But when it comes to the classic stuff, they ain't got no room to walk. They got no room to talk. They got nothing. I don't think anybody built as good of cars, as solidly built and as stylish of cars that America did through the 50s and the 60s.
Oh, yeah.
So our good friend Sean, going back to what we were talking about with the Cholo style, I don't know bikes that well when it comes to this side of it. Hawaiian handlebars. Do you know what that is?
Are you talking like beach bars?
I guess.
Because
Sean, if you can fill it in a little bit.
The Cholo style with Hawaiian handlebars is amazing.
He's probably talking about the beach bars. So they're more of I would think
almost like a cafe racer.
Similar, but they stick out a little bit farther because it's almost like it's more of a chill.
You're like out here. Yeah. You're not up here. You're down.
This one had apes on it. It's like
okay.
This one had 16-inch apes, and they were kind of pushed forward. So when you're cruising, your arms are up here like this kind of.
Well, he did mention about going whenever the time you want to go cruise. He would totally join us with San Quentin.
Yeah,
his
rat rod
that he's got.
Hell yes.
Yeah,
awesome.
Kind of like I'd say it's like Brandon's, but I think even Brandon built or helped build the San Quentin, if I'm correct. Sean, you can chime in, but I think he helped build that car, or he built it and sold it.
That was Brandon's first. I think his first rat rod project. Yeah, and then Sean's gotten it and done some modifications and stuff to it, and kind of made it his own from what Brandon's told me.
Yeah, he's a good friend of ours. A good sponsor of the show. He's our camera guy, our backup camera guy.
Heck
but he does a great job. So
that's a great part about.
Part
I know you meet so many cool people.
Yeah. Well, part of being the Choice Award winner. Congratulations once again, by the way.
Yeah,
thank you.
Must have been some really awesome judges.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think so.
In your car.
I think so. Unfortunately, we didn't have a trophy for that.
I can't speak highly enough for them. But we do got some other stuff that we need to set up a time.
Sure.
So we can get a little bit more. We want to get a little more content, show a little bit more people around the car, and
we want to do some rollers. We want to do a full day of just shoot. And high quality photography, that kind of thing. That's kind of what we want to do for what we do, because it helps us drive content to the show as well. But we'll be adding some other stuff come next year. So it was great to make sure that we recognize you brought an amazing car for us. So,
thank you.
Yeah, it really was. So no new cars except for probably what you'd love to get. Won't sell the Cadillac.
No.
So
no.
Yeah,
I'd considered the 50 recently about selling it, and then trying to figure out what I was going to do from there. If I find a Merc or what I want to do, and then I bought those new Detroit Steelies for it with the red line, so they're black with the chrome center cap and the red line tire, and those got on there. And now I've been talking to Rick about bagging it. Brandon's dad about bagging that thing because I want those running boards.
Yeah, because you have the red ones on this picture. Right?
Yep, that picture. Yep. So right now that's sitting on an S10 chassis, but it's just static drop. So we want to set the running boards on the ground and really kind of tighten that thing up a little bit. So
yeah, you kind of went with the Cobra look on this.
You know, it's kind of got that. It's got my kind of 50 Merc look without having the 50 Merc price tag right now. So.
that
What's the
gray
bed look
is
like?
What's that?
I don't have a shot. What's the bed look like? You got the boards and
it's got boards, and it's got an old Coke. You can kind of see the top of it right there. It's got an old wood Coca-Cola crate in it.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So it's Rick did it right. He did it. I think he built it about
Rick.
That's Brandon's dad, Rick Patrick. So we call him Pop's Garage, which there's another plug. That's the
and
ones
Sean said that's Brandon and his dad.
3 plugs. That's his limit.
Brandon and his dad are the ones that built San Quentin.
Yep. And then so Rick, he's just a guru with cars. He's retired now, and so I've got the Chevys up there right now with him, kind of doing some stuff to it, and. Him and his grandson actually built that together. I think about 11 years ago. Brandon's son, Cameron. So
what motor's in it?
That's got a small block 350 as well.
Okay.
With a 300
transmission.
Yeah. So
Nice.
So it'll lay some rubber.
Oh yeah, it'll do a little burnout. So it's got a big brass knuckles gear shifter that we had. I had Brandon's dad cut.
Nice.
And then, so it's,
little
it's
extra touches, you know.
Yeah, it's got all license plates in the floorboard.
Oh,
Okay. So it's kind of rat rotted out.
It's rat rotted out.
Okay.
Big
All
time.
I
right.
love seeing that. Yeah. I've seen that before, and it's just a cool look to me. I don't know. I like that.
Yeah, I'd trade the Audi for it.
With or without a run-in.
Would you trade the Audi without a motor?
I think that's a no.
It is a gorgeous. It is a gorgeous truck. So you have an amazing collection. So do you go to shows? We ask this of people who have multiple cars. When you go to shows, are you there to enjoy the show, or are you trying to win awards? Because I think I know the answer, but I'll tell you why after you answer.
Honestly, for me, originally, it's just always just been to go because I enjoy the camaraderie. I enjoy meeting the people. I've never really met. I've gone to a lot of different bike things, a lot of different car things, and car people are just. It's a different type of people. Not that bike things are any indifferent, but with cars, people are they just go out of their way to talk to you, friendly most of the time and everything. It's just a good community, and I really enjoy it. So I'd win a trophy here or there and stuff with the truck and stuff. And I honestly, when I bought the Cadillac, I knew it was a special car, but I had no clue. And Brandon knew, he knew
he
right
told
away.
me before you even came out. He's like, you got to have this car by you guys.
So Brandon knew before because he was, I'm going back and forth, sending him pictures. Hey, this is what we got an update. This is what it's looking like now. And he was like, dude, you just be ready because I don't think you have a clue. And it's overwhelming. Hell, I can't go anywhere. I'll be getting fuel. People come up, can I take a picture? I'm like, well, absolutely. It's just cool. And the conversations that I've had with people and the people that I've met, you guys, just awesome. You know?
So back to us.
At
least we know
it was cool for you to meet us.
At least we know there's a highlight of owning this Cadillac.
Right. That's absolutely right.
Yeah, but you know what? And I get that because you got car guys that are just they build it because they want to win trophies, and they go to shows, and if they don't win, they question why.
Sure,
that kind of a thing. I agree with you on the whole camaraderie thing. I think there's a reason why you go. I had an old bike and I went to a couple bike shows and stuff like that. And you're right, it is different, right? It's more of a clicky thing when it comes to bikes. With cars, it can be, especially with the old timers and some of the classics. It's a little clicky, but most of them, when they do have a show car, it is about winning a trophy.
Right.
They're not daily drivers. They'll haul on a trailer.
Right.
They'll park it and drive it in, and that's about as far as it goes for the next couple months.
And I think I pissed some guys off. I took it the first ever show I won Best of Show. It was at a show in South Carolina, and not long after I bought the car. Actually, I took it to a show at a church, and there was 200 plus vehicles there. It was the 10th anniversary of a charity for a gentleman at the church that had passed away. It was over 200 vehicles, cars, trucks, bikes out there. Yeah. And I was it got down to the very last award, and they were like, this is the best of show. And I honestly was a little bit disappointed because it'd gone through and I hadn't won an award. And I don't ever want to feel like I expect something, but that was the first show I'd really taken it to and gotten it out there. And so I started packing up my stuff. I had a little pile of trash in front of me. I was picking up, and I started to turn to walk away. And they said the best in show goes to number 57 with his 1957 Coupe de Ville. And you could have knocked me over with a feather.
Right.
And I was just humbled, you know, and it was exciting. And then, so I go up there. I was glad I was wearing sunglasses because I got choked up and shit, you know. I was just like, come on. But so that was really cool. So.
Yeah, you know what, and we could tell that, especially at WayneStock, you weren't expecting anything. And we kind of last minute decided to do something because we knew we wanted to start doing something. And then we did it, and I could tell you weren't expecting anything.
No, not at all, no.
And, you know, it was big for us and rightfully deserved. I mean, it was an amazing day and an amazing car. I think, honestly, it should have been almost best in show, if not best in show. I get it. There's a lot of cool cars. I didn't walk every car, neither did Corey. But in our eyes, it was definitely worth best of show in our eyes. So
well, I appreciate it.
And Wayne and them have their own judging system. So
the crowd responded really well when we mentioned it.
And they were ecstatic. They're like, oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, heck yeah.
And as soon as you were driving out, because you went down the hill in the grass, across the dirt, up to the road, everybody turned to watch that car pull out.
Well, they had like three. One of them was theirs at WayneStock.
Yeah.
Right after we announced it and we're coming back, they had like 3 different photographers rush over to go get pictures of the car.
Oh, yeah. They said, before you leave, can we take some shots?
Yeah.
I said, absolutely, go ahead.
Yeah. So I agree with you. I think that it's a great car. It's well deserved for sure. You did an amazing job on it. We're almost at the end of the show.
Yeah, I think yes, we are, aren't we?
So what do you want to add or talk to? Give shout outs to? We got hot wings that we're gonna do. We're gonna transfer over to the hot wings special. No. Anybody you want to give a shout out to? Plug upcoming things? Anything?
Man,
obviously your daughter, of course.
Yeah. No. I just I don't really know. I think we're done with shows for the year now.
Yeah.
Until obviously we do the little video shoot, photo shoot, whatever. And then next year I'm really wanting to. Brandon's gotten out and about a lot this year.
Yeah.
He's been down in Texas. He's been down. He went to Vegas. He took the rat rod out to Vegas. So
they got a great community of rat rods in Vegas.
In the future, like for the spring, I'm looking into some nice like enclosed trailers to get out there.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put some miles on. Like I don't mind driving to a show an hour away because WayneStock was about 40 miles from me.
Okay.
And then we did the one at the Speedway the following 2 weeks after that or so.
Okay.
And so an hour or so. But I want to do some Omaha, some Wichita.
Yeah.
I want to get out a little bit more in the region, let the car be seen by people that haven't seen it.
And you know what? We thought about the same thing, and maybe what we can do is kind of communicate, and because we want to invite people that are just good people, great cars, take them to another city, can see it, kind of a deal. Even with like Richline,
awesome
it could be a way of us to say, hey, we're gonna go together as a crew, and we just do our thing, and that'd be awesome.
Hit
so
one in Omaha or something like that. There's that big ice cream cruise that goes on in Omaha.
That's a big one.
I want to hit that.
That is a big one. We talked about it this year to go. I've never been, but
it's 1320 Videos' show. I mean, they put this big one annual show, and it's a big fundraiser. Kind of like the Streetcar Takeover Kickoff Party is a huge fundraiser as well.
Right. Yeah.
So it's very similar to that, and they out there. There's a racetrack out there.
That was what it was at Streetcar Takeover a couple weeks ago that we were at.
And then they line the cars up on both sides of the track like this, facing the track, and it goes all the way around the racetrack.
Cool.
Yeah, Brandon's ear must have been ringing because he just signed on. What's up, Brandon?
The ice cream cruise is always worth going. I always recommend anybody go. It is a big thing, and all proceeds do go to a charity thing, and it's really cool. What you got to do just to be part of the spirit is there's ice cream trucks everywhere selling ice cream.
Yeah.
So you got to have an ice cream while you're there.
Everyone, you get to stop.
And if you don't have an ice cream, well, then you're just
piece
at a
of
cruise,
shit.
not an ice cream cruise.
Oh, is that what it is?
Oh, I said you're a piece of shit.
I agree.
It's a boring old cruise.
That's probably
no. It's always great. Once again, we want to say thank you to our sponsors. for helping to make the show possible. We've got Flying H Drag Strip. We've got We Are Warriors, Uncorked Wine and Spirits, Richline Motorsports, Timely Delivery Service, and, of course, thank you once again to
our lovely wives.
Yeah. Our biggest sponsors ever.
That's right.
And to AutoBeauty for giving us a studio space for this
For
day's
sure.
show. I think it's fantastic. Man, BG, thanks for being on.
Glad to be here.
Awesome.
Thanks,
Looking
guys.
forward to getting some more stuff done with your car. So make sure you
Be
are subscribed
prepared.
to this channel and follow us on Facebook and Instagram because we got a lot more pictures coming up from that car and some footage that we're going to be doing of his car. Hopefully soon.
Yep.
Hopefully soon. If not, then we're probably going to end up waiting until after winter. But what do you got to do, we'll get her done.
She's not scared of the cold.
No, there you go. I was thinking about a winter wonderland shoot.
How about that? That'd be interesting. Anyways,
I got some ideas for this.
I think it's about time for us to sign out for the day.
I agree.
I am Corey Pratt,
I'm Chris Ruck.
and to remember all you cravers out there.
Keep craving.